What up, YouTube? It's Rob Monty here, bringing you guys some wrestling news. Unfortunately, though, I have to start up with some sad news. For majority of you out there who do keep up with the wrestling news and not just with my show, because you're either one, you go on the dirt sheets or you look up on wrestling news, or you check out some of the other guys' YouTube channels on here. It has been announced. I actually found out very early this morning. I was up trying to give my father his medicine, and I went and took a look on Twitter. And the good news is they did find Shad Gaspard. Bad news, however, and this is why it's such sad news today. Shad was found dead on when they found his body on Venice Beach this morning. Um, yeah, guys. I mean, it's really tragic and sad. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last 3 or 4 days, and you're just waking up and finding out what Shad's dead. Shad went missing on Sunday after he took his wife and kid out to go swimming, and him and his son were trapped. Were basically not trapped, but were getting caught up in a riptide current up in on up offshore of the beach, and basically the Coast Guard and the lifeguards, they all came in to. It wasn't just them. There's like a lot of other people there too, but the lifeguards went over there to go rescue as much people as they could. Shad was able to get his son out of there because he instructed the lifeguards get him away from here. And after they rescued his son, it said that a wave hit him and he got caught off in the riptide. He went missing on Sunday after that whole situation, and they couldn't find him until this morning, guys. The search was called off on Monday for like the Coast Guard, but the police and the lifeguards, they went all over Venice Beach for the last couple of days, and only today now they have found his body. I'm gonna say this: my prayers and condolences, and I just want to send some, you know, heartwarming messaging, to the Gaspard and Chittick family. I mean, I feel really, really horrible for them. I mean, this is such a terrible situation in the first place, and now the sad news that he's gone. I just want to let you guys know, no matter what, you might have lost a brave hero, but you gained a guardian angel in him. And the reason why I say this, folks, too, is because Shad is an actual real hero. It's not just wrestling that he's a hero in. It's the fact that, as many of you might know, Shad broke up an armed robbery on his own and pinned the guy until police arrived. And then on top of that, his last act on this earth, he protected his son like a real man would for his child. I would say that man, guys, is a hero, and he's now a guardian angel for his family, and I say Godspeed to them and God bless them. God bless Shad. I mean, it's really, really horrible news that's happened. On top of that, guys, one of my favorite. I'm gonna go over one of my favorite times, of crime time in general. I mean, I remember that one match. Oh, no, that one show where they jacked King Booker's wallet and basically tried to sell it off, and Booker, who was trying to be, you know how King Booker is trying to be all elegant and trying to speak English and trying to be white and all that. It was funny because they made him break that character and go, "Oh hell no!" My favorite part of that was just when Booker was like not expecting it, and Shad and JTG basically, they got to pull that one off on King Booker, and they didn't. It was just hilarious. Um, Favorite match. I would say my favorite match would be the time when they did I think it's when they were on Team SmackDown against Team Raw in bragging rights the 5-man tag or 6-man tag of I think it was a 10-man tag in bragging rights pay per view. It was one of my favorites because I felt like, man, they are definitely the top team of SmackDown then. I feel like it's a damn shame they never won the tag team titles in WWE because it seemed like they were destined to, especially in 2007 and 2008. I mean, they were the most over team there. I know you guys can bring up the Hardys or Cade and Murdoch, but Crime Time was actually the most over tag team in WWE at that time, and man, I just wish they would have had it. Man, some sad news. I guess we'll start off with this. Making an easy question for today on Question of the Day. What are your guys' favorite moments of Shad Gaspard? Do you guys, have a particular match or a particular memory that you guys had when you went to like an indie show and watched them? Did you like his heel run? I actually enjoyed the heel run. I thought he was going to become a big star out of that. Sad. I don't know. Sad how things went, but oh man, there's a lot of moments. I would say my favorite rivalry that Crime Time had would be the one with Cade and Murdoch. I just wish that it would have ended better and with Crime Time being the tag team champions, because I felt like they should have been, man. As far as and I'm gonna say this, one of my favorite movies with Shad Gaspard in it, guys, is always gonna be the Thor and Avengers movies, because I mean, even though it was a small part, I mean, frick, you knew the guy had talent. He had true acting talent, and I just wish, we got more out of it than what we are getting. So, you again, I'm gonna send my heartfelt condolences to the family. I'm praying for you guys, and you know what? God loves you all. God loves your guardian angel too. And I'm just gonna say this much. We the wrestling fans hope that you guys are okay and that we get through this. And I think you guys got the best guardian angel in the house right now in your guys' family. Because that guy, not only was he a true hero in life, I bet you he'll be a true hero in eternity. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, so we're gonna move on now. Sad day though, obviously. All right, next things going on. Which I'm looking up right now to let everybody know what wrestling news we got for you today. One of them is gonna be the new trademarks that WWE has filed for. Then we're going to talk about Vince Russo, because I believe after the Owen Hart documentary, we should mention Vince Russo here in general. And CM Punk offers praise to Owen Hart's wife and kids. That's for the Darkside of The Ring special last night. And then we also got Lance Archer commenting on his signing with AEW, the latest on Sting, and let's see. Oh yeah, this one was also on Twitter. Stardom talent has announced her retirement. And on top of that, what is that last thing we're gonna say? Oh yeah, Access TV news for Impact Wrestling. All right, so and so let's go right into it, guys. Let's just go right into it. Whew, it's been a long day. That's for sure. I'm a little tired because I went back to the dentist today for myself this time. On top of that, I didn't get much sleep, so obviously. Come in, Mel. How you doing? Awesome. Sleepy. Alright. That was my brother's nurse, guys. Alright. So, first and foremost, for NXT news tonight. Wait, did we get... let me pull that back up. For NXT tonight, this is going to be for how we're going to have NXT for tonight. Alright, Karrion Kross and Scarlett will kick off tonight's episode of NXT. WWE has issued the following. After captivating the NXT universe in his debut 2 weeks ago, Karrion Kross will return in the ring with Scarlett to kick NXT off tonight. The Doomsday Duel promised a destruction for months, and Kross made good on those words in his first NXT match. After a spellbinding entrance, Kross decimated Leon Ruff, flattening him with two Doomsday Satos before submitting him almost instantaneously with the Kross jacket. Will Kross' second opponent suffer a similar fate? Tune in tonight, 8/7 Central on USA. Alright, guys. In my opinion, I think that's a stupid question. Will Kross' second opponent suffer a similar fate? If it's not a major NXT star, I'm pretty sure they will. That's all I'm gonna say. Quite honestly, I'm looking for Karrion Kross' match. I mean, he's a great talent. Obviously, I have nothing but I feel I have become a fan of Karrion Kross, and it's not just because of Scarlett. It's just the guy looks like a fucking wrestler. He looks like a star. His girlfriend obviously is a star in her own right. So, they're the perfect combination. That's why originally I said they were NXT's match made in heaven. As far as the Doomsday Duel goes, I'm pretty sure somebody's Doomsday is about to happen in NXT tonight. Okay, I just dropped that. Alright, next, WWE files for new Def Rebel trademarks. Basically, the name Def Rebel, as of this writing, there's no word on what the name is for, but WWE has applied for trademarks. And in the descriptions, it's basically talking about trademark 1 IC00. I can't go over all of this, but as you notice here, guys, it's talking about like videos and video editing and whatnot. Obviously, CD-ROMs, games, computer cartridges, game cartridges. So I'm guessing Def Rebel is going to be something around here it has something to do with some type of pop culture kind of thing or technology technological some entity, in my opinion, a technological entity. But then there's also trademark 2, which is talking about clothing, namely tops, shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, hoodies, outwards. So I'm wondering if this is becoming all merchandise. So what I'm saying is, from what it looks like from this trademark, the term Def Rebel that's being has been filed for is probably stuff that's relating to merchandise, looks like a lot of multimedia stuff, and on top of that, guys, a lot of technology involved. So I'm guessing there's gonna be somewhere where I'm guessing it's gonna be a clothing brand. That's what it sounds like to me. Like you know how in TNA Impact they were promoting Future Legend. I feel like that's what Def Rebel's gonna be about. You know, so. And let's see what everybody else is saying here if they have in mind. But Def Rebel does sound like a cool name. I don't mind it. And this is what okay, I know this asshole. Anyway, he says typical WWE taking any popular words or phrases and trademarking it immediately before someone who is too famous. Now, I'm always gonna tell you guys this, not to personally attack Andy here, but basically a lot of times he posted something up, it's kind of cynical. So if it sounds cynical, yeah, it's just that's how some people are about WWE and or wrestling in general. They get either too jaded or cynical, or they hate the product so much so they just throw shade at them. But in my opinion, from what it sounds like, they are trademarking Def Rebel for possibly a clothing line or a merchandise line. That's what it sounds like to me, folks. Do I think it's gonna be that? Who knows? But it looks exactly like that. So, and I do not agree with Andy. I don't think they just find anything popular. I don't think anybody's even come up with the name Def Rebel. And if they did, it's either well they have Def, and then they have Rebel. They don't have them together like how this trademark is. And quite honestly, are you gonna say Def Jam Records took Def Jam? I mean, what kind of stupid shit is that? You know, maybe it's just something new, marketing. You know, and you're taking it out as oh, it's such bullshit. That's because some people don't understand business that well. And then they try to act like, oh, I'm such an intellectual about it. It's like stupid, you know? Alright. Now we're going to go right into the juicy, juicy shit. Vince Russo. Oh, man. Why did I say juicy shit? Anyway. Well, maybe it's because Vince Russo is a piece of shit in most people's eyes. Especially Jim Cornette. I mean, we all know Jim Cornette wants to kill this man. But Vince Russo says he thinks AEW is already filled with politics. And this is what this is an interview after all this. And it looks like, no, this is actually from his podcast, isn't it? Oh, yeah. After Buzz TV, anyway. So this is what he had to say on if his career in wrestling was a dream come true for him. And he said, it was far from a dream. I don't want to say it was a nightmare because I'm not going to go to that other extent, bro. But I wish it was a dream. I wish it was everything that I thought it would be growing up as a kid and growing up as a teenager. I really wish it was. But if I'm going to be honest, bro, it was not that. I look back now. It was not that. I look back now, bro, and I'll be honest with you again. If I had to do it all over again, I would not have gotten into wrestling. I wouldn't have done it. You want my honest opinion on that one, folks? BS bullshit. Okay, and then he says, finding the politics in wrestling disgusting. Well, Roos, you also have your own politics. So let's see what he has to say. The politics are disgusting, bro. Now, of course, when I say that, you want to think that there are politics in every job. There are. I worked other jobs. I worked for CBS. The politics in wrestling is something I've never experienced anywhere else in my existence, bro. There's just a level of politics that just make it not fun. Like anything else, you get into something for the love of it, and then it turns into a job, bro. How dare he say this, guys? I say, how dare he? Because I know I shouldn't be judging just because I don't know the guy in general. But from what I've heard about this guy, what I've seen from this guy, what I have listened on his own podcast, interviews, documentaries, I feel like this guy's full of shit. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, he's making my soda look like shit, so I'm not going to drink it now. Fucking asshole. On if new promotions like AEW are full of politics. And he goes on to say, we know that company stems from. They're all friends, of friends, of friends. That's politics, bro. Not hiring the best people, but hiring your friends, and this friend, and is a friend of that friend. That's politics, bro. You may call it something else, but at the end of the day, that's politics. With a professional eye, I look at AEW. To me, there's some people on that show that are not stars. That they're never going to be stars. They don't have the star quality. They don't have the it factor. And they're on the show because of who they know. That's politics, man. Well, bro, just to go on about this with Vince Russo. Do I agree with that statement? You know what? He's not totally wrong about that. I mean, a lot of the guys on AEW, and I know Cody had gone off and said, I'm not here to hire my friends and give them just jobs and whatnot. But when you look at the end of the day, guys, that's what he did. Basically, these are wrestlers that he made friends with in Ring of Honor, all over the world, different promotions, different indie promotions, Evolve, doesn't matter, Dragon Gate, PWG, doesn't matter. Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, they went and found everyone that was not hired by WWE that were good friends of theirs and gave them jobs. Now, taking care of your friends, yeah, that's one thing. But at the same time, guys, call it whatever you want. I mean, it's like, okay, so you didn't get the best tag team from here. You didn't get the best single star here. You know, I mean, it's just like, what Russo says, that makes sense. That's true. They did not hire someone because of their credit and long-standing work of being the best. All right, I agree with Russo on that. But at the same time, it's like, well, at least they're pulling a ship together, you know? It doesn't seem like total politics. But do I feel like there could be politics? You gotta ask the guys on the AEW roster. I don't think you should be asking Russo. But in his eyes and professional eye of what he's seen before, there obviously is. And you want my honest opinion? There probably is politics in AEW. But much like Vince McMahon, the buck stops with the owner. And that would be Tony Khan. So, as long as there's a buck that stops at one person who has the vision and decides it, the politics generally won't matter unless somebody makes a really, really freaking good argument. And a lot of times when it comes to Vince's politics, a lot of people know how to play to him. For some, you know. And at the same time, people make very good arguments, and he has to take those in and make the best decision out of all of them. Now, everybody's going to bring up Montreal Screwjob. Well, what was that? That was politics, right? No, I'm going to be like this. No, that was bullshit. Everyone will tell you Montreal Screwjob was bullshit. Whether you believe it was a work or not, it was bullshit. Let's put it this way. Montreal Screwjob as a shoot is bullshit because when you look at it, Brett is leaving WWE because Vince is no longer able to honor his contract. So now the two of them are at each other's throats because they're trying to figure out what are they going to do to get the belt off of Brett before Brett goes on to WCW while working a WCW contract, getting it ready for him. And then on top of that, meanwhile, while this is going on, Brett is fighting with Shawn because Shawn won't respect Brett. And Brett won't do the right thing by dropping the belt. So now Vince is forced, for that matter, to make a decision. And he's looking at it as like, well, fuck. There's a good point. There's a good argument here, and there's a good argument there. What is the best decision? Well, Brett's leaving the fucking company. I guess I have to make that decision, even though I don't want to fucking do it, you know? That's basically what that whole thing was. And if you guys watch Darkside of the Ring, season 1 with the Montreal Screwjob, everybody who was in on it will tell you how bad it was. How bad of a bullshit situation it was. And as far as Russo goes, he knows exactly it. But you know what? Russo also takes credit for some of the bullshit, you know? And which leads me to another thing about Darkside of the Ring. Which, like I said, I think in my last video, that I feel like they left out his side of the story of what happened with Owen. And to me, I think a lot of people would fucking go with the pitchforks and knives at Russo right now if they did. I don't know if it's because Russo turned it down or whatever or not. But there's a lot of people who already hate Russo for the Brawl for All. But for Owen Hart's death, this is the man who was given an idea to basically pitch for Owen. Basically, that whole thing, guys, where Owen was going to be being rappelling down the ceiling from a rigger, that was all Vince Russo. That was all Vince Russo, folks. Basically, and I've watched back in a lot of people, in a lot of documentaries, and when he tells this story, he tells people what he said. He's the one that suggested it. More later ones when he knows he's gonna get fucking cussed out at, basically he tries to defend himself. But earlier on, like in 2000, in 2 or 2003 or 2001, he's full of pride about giving Owen this fucking stunt. Basically, guys, I swear, anybody who's a fan of Vince Russo, ask him and push the damn question hard, because he is full of shit when I hear him talk about this, because he keeps telling people, if he had told me I wouldn't have done it, it wouldn't be a big deal. Okay, it wouldn't be a big deal. Why'd you did it anyway? And if you heard he didn't fucking rehearse, why the fuck did you... What I'm saying is, folks, with Vince Russo, he was the one that planned Owen to doing the rigger job. And it's because it got to him from a source in the office that, hey, the people who are trying to help Sting, who helped Sting repel from the rafters in WCW, want to see if they want to come over here and do work for us. And as you guys learned in the Dark Side of the Ring, there were multiple teams from their group. And the one that was kind of the least expensive and the one that would do anything wrong is the one who basically worked with Owen. And I'm going to say this, folks. This asshole, Vince Russo, he has stated it in numerous interviews and even shoots. He's probably going to bitch his head off if he hears this and say that, oh, I did not do that. I didn't want Owen to do that kind of shit. You know, he'll be defending himself, covering his ass. I mean, he'll be covering his ass as fast as a new, fresh meat prison baby. Because, quite honestly, folks, this man thought it would be cool for Owen to do this. Now, at the same time, every time he tells it too, guys, he also tells it as if it was that day the idea came to him, basically. Like, because they had already tried to repel Owen from the roof once. And he claims it was the Thursday of. But he had repelled on Raw like twice before. You know? So, be careful when you listen to Russo when he talks about this, folks. But he says he's the one that came up with the idea. He's the one that told HR and the PR, the HR and the upper management that, hey, we do it for Owen because this would be cool to get Owen over. He'll be more of a bigger star and all that shit. And it pisses me off knowing this. I mean, and here's the thing. I said it yesterday. There's the whole thing with the lawsuits and with WWE and Martha Hart. It pisses me off knowing a lot of that shit, and on top of that with the lawyers getting involved and doing lawyer shit as well. But I'm surprised nobody brings up Vince Russo because he's the one who came up with this idea for Owen. Basically said, oh, and here's the worst part, folks. He could have selected anybody on the roster to do it. So he could have gotten Austin to do it, and we would have lost Austin in this case. And the fact of the matter is, when Martha Hart goes and says WWE was negligent, well, this guy was negligent because he did not fucking take the time to go over with Owen. And he even asked Owen, are you okay? Are you comfortable with it? And he just assumed that Owen was going to do it. Just because Owen didn't say anything about doing it, So you guys want to know who the real person to be blaming here is? This fucker. Because he could have just said, well, Owen doesn't seem comfortable doing it. Let's just cut it. He seems that way. I don't want him to go up there if he's not comfortable. He could have done that. He could have made that decision himself. And he didn't. He just went with it. So you talk about negligence. I look at this asshole and think negligence is all around him. And the biggest negligence he has is on the wrestling world. And as much as he wants to say, oh, I'm the savior and all that kind of shit, Vince Russo is not a savior when it comes to wrestling. He's an asshole. Stupid one for that matter. Alright. Calm down, my blood pressure's going up because of that fucker. Anyway, CM Punk, guys, has gone on to praise Owen Hart's wife and kids following the Darkside of the Ring special. I also praise them because it probably took a lot of guts to go on the show and explain your story, and knowing that most people might not agree with you, but at least you got your voice out there, and I feel that was the right thing to do. So, this is what CM Punk had to say. Halfway through the Owen Hart episode at Darkside of the Ring, I have to take breaks. Feel like I just want Martha, Oj, and Athena to know I admire their strength. And quite honestly, I don't, you know what? I admire them in general. I don't know who wouldn't, because my God, for them to say we don't want to be part of they don't want Owen to be part of the WWE Hall of Fame because they feel like they're responsible. That's one thing, but to share their pain and what they had to do to grow and the battle that they have to go through during Owen's after Owen's death, I gotta say, guys, I mean, they deserve that praise, and they're a strong family at this time, period. I feel bad for them, I really do. I mean, I feel bad for Martha because all these years I used to think that Martha would not allow Owen because she's just bitter, but the reality is that she's holding WWE responsible. So the reason why we won't get Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame is because Martha is holding WWE responsible for Owen's death, and she doesn't feel it's right to give him the honor of allowing Owen to be in the Hall of Fame because she feels like they're just gonna profit off of him and not really honor him. That's why I would definitely suggest you guys go to Pro Wrestling Tees and buy the new Owen Hart shirts because all the profit is going to them. proceeds. And meanwhile, while we're talking about this, I know there's a lot of fans who are saying, well, why doesn't she just do it and get the Owen Hart Foundation name out there so that people would donate to them more? And the reality is this: she explained it. She doesn't want to hold them. They don't want to give WWE the privilege because they hold them responsible for Owen's death, and she feels like Owen wouldn't want that if that was the case. And in the documentary last night, it shows that Owen, even though he was almost done with the wrestling business in general, he was trying to pull away. So, and if that's, and with them explaining their side of the story, hey, I'm okay with Owen not going in the Hall of Fame. And that's just my honest opinion. Because to me, that's a legitimate and good reason. And I think everyone in the world who knew Owen or even watched Owen and even understand where Martha is coming, secretly Owen is always going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. It will never be acknowledged or noticed because WWE will be the one to keep that under wraps. And just like what Martha Hart will probably say, he's a Hall of Famer everywhere else, not just wrestling. So, in general, I'm okay with Owen not being in the WWE Hall of Fame. Owen's always going to be a Hall of Famer in everybody's book, so it doesn't matter to me anymore. And now that I know the reason why, the true reason why, and I know it's due to the pain that's going through their family, and they want to make sure that the people that aren't responsible don't get that honor and privilege. So, but overall, guys, I actually enjoyed that documentary because this is truly Darkside of the Ring stuff. Does it show Vincent being a scumbag for trying to get money, or trying to sue them for Owen dying on their watch or breach of contract? I'm like, what was he thinking at that time? That's my question. Because what was he going to gain? That's what I'm saying here. What was he going to gain out of it? You're going to sue a dead man who is actually dead and can't defend himself. That's sad. Alright. Lance Archer comments on signing with AEW, wanting to wrestle in AEW, and who he wants to. So, joining AEW, he says everything felt right. The opportunity was being presented with a company like AEW was just too good to pass up. There was many cool things coming at me at the same time, the exact same time. I had it's an opportunity to come home and an opportunity to be on TV in the United States of America. I hadn't done that on a regular basis in over 10 years. The opportunity to be in front of the U.S. fans and my family and friends on a consistent basis, along with just the opportunity to be in there with so many different guys that I've never even touched in the ring with. On guys he wants to wrestle. I worked with Kenny Omega in Japan, but we never wrestled each other. Sammy Guevara in Texas in many years. Never wrestled each other. Brody Lee, now at AEW, never wrestled each other. I've wrestled Mox once, and that was in Japan, so I'd love to recreate that in the States. Cody and I have never wrestled each other, and we're going to do that on the 23rd Double or Nothing. There's so many cool opportunities that kind of came my way. At that time. Family, friends, my faith, were all pointing in the direction of AEW. Here I am kicking ass. On having the first G1 Climax match ever in the United States, my family were there, and they were like 5 rows back. You could see them from the ring, and my little nieces, they'd seen me wrestle before, but when they were younger, now they're actually old enough to kind of see what's going on and enjoy the environment. For me, to be the first G1 match ever in the United States was a really cool experience. And Will Ospreay and I I think we went out there, tore the house down. People didn't know what to expect from me. That first match in the Dallas for the G1 was the first time they really seen me work as a singles competitor in a really long time. That was kind of a coming out party, and I took it as an opportunity to really reinvent myself. I really started the journey that is the Murder Hawk Monster. The G1 in Dallas was kind of where that first step was taken. So, with this, guys, Lance Archer feels like he's getting his big break. That's basically what he's saying. And it's such a fresh start, a fresh concept, a new place to actually make himself a real star in the world of professional wrestling. And in my opinion, I agree. For one, the reason why I agree is because I don't think he would have gotten that even if he went back to WWE. I don't think he would have gotten that if he went back to Impact, because Impact would probably put him in the rock star again. Another thing is to think about this, guys. It's not like he did not, I think I remember when he signed with AEW, he was talking about all kinds of stuff, including times of when he was in WWE, and, he was thankful for that run. It wasn't the greatest run ever, and it was a shitty run, but at the same time, it was great for him. It got him more experience, made him become a more seasoned vet for what it was, and he got to compete at WrestleMania. As far as AEW has been to him, it's like this is where he's gonna get his big break, and everything's looking up, and there's a lot of talent to go through in AEW that he hasn't wrestled. So we might be seeing the best of Lance Archer, aka Lance Hoyt, aka Vance Archer. So guys, check him out, the Murderhawk Monster on AEW. Do I think he's gonna be the first TNT champion? Who knows? But he's got some fire going. All right, and here's the latest on Sting for all of you guys who want to know what's going on with the Stinger. This was on the podcast Dave Meltzer on the rumors of Sting going to AEW. And Sting having no relationship with WWE. Obviously, he's got no relationship with them, which really surprised me because it's one of those guys I didn't think would have no relations with. I mean, technically right now Ric Flair is the same way. Ric's a free agent. Actually, didn't Ric sign a contract? I'm pretty sure he did. And then this is what else he had to say. Why he thinks there is smoke to the fire on Sting to AEW rumors. But with Sting, I've got to think there is smoke to the fire. Number one, because he's tweeting about AEW, and Sting's not going to do that because he's not paying attention to anything unless he's got interest in it. And that they're kind of acknowledging it. And also, when I ask about it, I get no answer. If there was nothing to it, I'm sure it would say there's nothing to it. So I think there's something to it. If they already have a deal, they're going to announce it on their terms, because sometimes they'll wait a couple weeks, and if they don't have a deal, it's probably something that they're at least contemplating. Alright, so that's basically from what Dave Meltzer is noting. On Sting having no relationship with WWE, guys, I think there is a relationship with WWE and Sting. It's just, it's not as tight as Hogan and Vince would be. It's not as tight as Austin and Vince would be, In other words, what I'm saying is Sting probably came there, signed with them, was happy to be part of the WWE family, and at the same time, he's probably wanting more, and it's not happening. I mean, he got to be the ambassador for WWE for the last 2 or 3 years that he was there. But yeah, he didn't really have much going other than that. And it's not a bad thing. Sting's a very professional person, and I'm pretty sure it's not a bad relationship with WWE, if that's what you guys are asking or wondering. But knowing Meltzer, he probably blows smoke and tell you that too. As far as the AEW rumors, you know what? If Sting has the opportunity to show up on AEW, even as just an appearance, I'm pretty sure he would take it because Sting is one of those wrestlers who actually wants to see all the other companies grow and, just be a part of something special. And if he has no business doing in one company, he's going to go try the other one and it's going to help him. As far as his run in WWE, do I think it was lackluster at best? I kind of agree with Booker T on this, guys, where he said, well, Sting came in a little bit too late, guys. He was out of his prime, and the body just couldn't handle the WWE schedule or the WWE lifestyle. So, however, would he have succeeded if he had gone to WWE first before TNA? More than likely, he would have succeeded and had great matches that we will be talking about for years to come. And you know what? I still consider that match with Triple H pretty much a great match. I feel like the match with Seth was a great match until it ended the way it did. As far as Cena, Orton, and all that matches where Sting was in a tag match, I would say that those were great matches. I mean, he won them at least, Wasn't a total burial of Sting, folks. That's what I'm just saying. Alright, so now we're going to go into Impact news. Yes, Access TV expands Tuesday nights with new Impact Wrestling original series. And it begins June 2nd, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So Access TV provides an extra dose of Impact action as the network debuts Impact Wrestling original series Impact in 60, beginning June 2nd, following the flagship series Impact. The hour-long series chronicles the promotion's celebrated 18-year history under the Impact and TNA Total Nonstop Action banners, headlined by some of the greatest champions to enter the ring. Each features a collection of full matches showcasing a different wrestler, championships, factions, or match types. Alright, and so Impact 60 kicks off June 2nd, Tuesday. And it's going to start with the best of the Asylum years, highlighting rarely seen footage from the infancy of TNA, with matches featuring former NWA heavyweight champions AJ Styles and Raven. So we're going to go to the vault, guys, for the Asylum years. And the schedule also includes a look at Revolutionary High Flying X Division Championship featuring Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, on June 9th. The greatest Impact World Heavyweight title matches, which will feature title matches with Kurt Angle and Austin Aries on June 16. 16, not 16. Then we're going to have legendary stables, Aces and Eights, including the show-stopping Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy match on June 23rd. And then they're going to also have wrestling legend Mick Foley's most epic battles against Sting, Samoa Joe on June 30th. In fact, I'm going to probably watch this video because they have a video for this. And thanks to the tremendous feedback from the fans of Impact and Access TV and the success of our first TNA special, we are taking a great step forward to bolster Impact Wrestling Tuesday night block, as said Impact Executive VP Scott D'Amore from the thousands of years, thousands of hours, thousands of years, thousands of hours of thrilling action in their library, we created an Impact in 60 to celebrate the legacy of the incredible performers who have competed for us and provide a fun trip down memory lane for the TNA faithful. You guys want my honest opinion of this in general? Yeah. Just fucking rebrand yourselves back to TNA. For crying out loud. I mean, the reason why I say that, folks, is because Moose has the TNA World title, and they've been wanting to be TNA for the last year. Just go back to being TNA. I think fans would just love that. I don't know if they like what the current product... I know they like the current product as far as storytelling, matchmaking, and booking, you know. But I think they miss the old TNA brand a lot. And would love to see TNA be resurrected in some way. This time with the management that Impact has now. And I'm actually, we're going to be seeing some great matches. I'm looking forward to that one in the Asylum years because Asylum was awesome. Alright, so that's enough for Impact today. We're going to go on to Stardom. Though. Alright, so Stardom has made an announcement and revealing that Arisa Hoshiki will be retiring due to neck and head injuries she suffered. She's only 24 years old, guys, and she's forced to retire. And this is the statement that Stardom had to make. And she says, "We are saddened to report that due to neck and head injuries, Arisa Hoshiki has officially retired. The Wonder of Stardom title has been returned to Stardom. We wish Arisa the very best in her future. Thank you for your continuing support of Stardom." Hoshiki then released a statement. Arisa has went on and spoke about the following statement, and she goes on. "Stardom fans, long time no see. Thank you for always showing me support. It's Arisa Hoshiki. After asking you to wait, I can now announce it. I was absent from the Corkin Hall show on March 8th due to head and neck issues. After discussions with doctors, Mr. Harada, President of Bushi Road fight, and Mr. Ogawa, Rosie Ogawa, Stardom executive producer, I have decided that I will retire. I have not been well for about a year, but I was able to continue because I enjoyed doing professional wrestling. And my feelings helped me keep me going. However, since my physical condition has deteriorated this year, I have accumulated various injuries. I'm out of balance mentally and physically, so I can't continue. At present, my neck has improved, but my head is still in bad condition. I wanted to return to the Wonder of Stardom belt as soon as I got into such a state, but I think that the timing was bad because of the coronavirus, so on. I can't settle in-ring issues with Natsuko Tora, Julia, and Tam Nakano. I wanted to fight against those three girls, especially for my white belt. But I couldn't finish it because of my body. And to all the fans who are looking forward to it, I am sorry. In the end, I wanted to tell the fans in the ring, but we have this current world situation. I'm really sorry that the announcement was made while Stardom shows aren't happening. In the future, I will continue to do work that I love while watching my physical and mental conditions. It was a short time I came back to wrestling, but I would like to thank all of you for your support. So, guys, another sad thing in the wrestling business, but I'm gonna just say this. I commend her for making this decision. I mean, it's not an easy one, especially when you love something that you're doing and you want to have more of a future. But sometimes health over work, you know. I mean, how are you going to do this forever if your health is not there? That's another thing. So, I commend Arisa for making her decision. I'm sad to see her go as far as being a talent. And so young, too, guys. She's really young. She's just like Paige, too, guys. I mean, Paige retired young, too. And it was due to this kind of injuries. So, let's go with this at the end. You know, pro wrestling is not an easy job in general, or an easy career. Um, for many reasons. And one of them is, in fact, health wise. You can only go on until your body says enough. And I think for Arisa, that's exactly what has happened. Just to let everybody know, even though in pro wrestling can be predetermined, I don't want to say fake because, you know, for one, I did not earn that privilege to say fake. My short wrestling career was too short to even gain that approval. At the same time, I know wrestling ain't fake. It's predetermined. Storylines, matches, outcomes, it's all predetermined and decided of who's gonna win and who's gonna lose. But the shit that they do in the ring, guys, is some serious shit. I mean, one wrong move and it could be the end of everything. And unfortunately for Arisa, that's what has happened. I'm glad she's making this decision for her health and her well-being. And, you know, I hope Stardom gives her something more outside of the ring, you know, and help her out, you know. Oh, man. I never got to watch Arisa in the ring. I mean, Stardom I have a hard time getting footage from, but when I do, I really enjoy a lot of the girls out there. I don't know if I've even seen Arisa wrestle before, because a lot of the girls in Japan who start wrestling, they start up as some of them at the ages of 12. I think in one person's case, 7. I think that might have been Riho for some reason. But anyway, you know, it's such a sad thing to see them go and have to retire due to injury. It's not an easy thing. And you can ask Edge, too, if you guys want, because Edge will tell you that, hey, you want to go out on your own terms, but sometimes you don't get that right. And you know what? I don't care what she says. She's still the champion with that Wonder of Stardom title, in my opinion. She is still that champion. An undefeated champion, for that matter. Alright. So that will be it for today's wrestling news episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys hit a like or subscribe to our video. I'm going to leave that picture of Arisa right there next to me anyway. On top of that, guys, you know, leave a comment. What you guys think? Do you think Sting's going to AEW? Do you think Vince Russo's full of bullshit as usual? How do you feel about Shad Gaspard? What was your favorite moment? You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, that's what I think I hope I get to see is what you guys think. As far as Access TV goes and Impact, what is your guys' favorite matches from the Asylum years, for crying out loud? Because the Asylum was one of my favorite times for TNA. Also, yeah, guys, just thank you for watching and hit a like or subscribe if you guys want to continue seeing more of my wrestling news content. As far as today goes, man, again, condolences and prayers to Shad Gaspard's family. Also, if you guys can, donate to the Owen Hart Foundation and buy those T-shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees, because it would help out with the charity that Owen Hart has going for Martha Hart. And I mean, their cause is a really good cause. I know some people are thinking, well, she's fucking scamming money, but let me tell you this. I think they're donating that money to people who need scholarships and single mothers needing money and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good cause. If you guys can, donate some money. Alright, guys. I'm going to head out. Thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. Woo.